Guys, uh, I'm I'm going to show you today how to create VLANs in Juniper and Cisco switches. As you can see in my topology, I have a Juniper switch and a Cisco switch. My plan is to create two VLANs in both of the switches and then send traffic, let's say from VLAN 10 to VLAN 10 in Cisco switch. So let's get started. Let's start it with the Cisco first, then I will come to the Juniper. As I know, most of the people has a lot of exposure on Cisco, but like me, not many people have very good exposure on Juniper. Still, I'm learning the Juniper, though I have got very good kind of knowledge on Cisco. So I'm trying to get Juniper onto a level like the experience and skill I have on Cisco. So let's get started with the Cisco first. Okay, so this is the Cisco switch. I'm going to the configuration mode. Config P. Let's give a name to the switch. Host Cisco underscore switch. Now let's create two VLANs onto the Cisco switch. VLAN 10, name IT, VLAN 20, name admin. Now I'm going to assign G0/1 to VLAN 10 and then G0/2 to VLAN 20. Interface G0/1, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. Sorry, switch port. So switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. So here I can see some wrong spelling. So I'm gonna make it correct now. Switch port access VLAN 10. Now I'm going to assign G0/2 to VLAN 20. Interface G0/2, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Let's check the status of the VLANs. Do show VLAN. So as you can see, I have created two VLANs, VLAN 10 and 20, and given the name IT and admin, and then assign G0/1 and G0/2 to VLAN 10 and 20. So now I have to configure this link as a trunk link. Now I'm going to show how to create this link as a trunk link. So interface G0/0, switch port mode trunk. So to do that, what I have to do here is interface G0/0, switch port mode trunk. It says an interface whose trunk encapsulation is auto cannot be configured to trunk mode. So what I have to do here is switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1 queue, then switch port mode trunk. So now let's see the status of this interface at this moment. to show interface trunk, and you see G0/0 is in the trunking, and the VLANs, number of VLANs that are allowed to the trunk link is 0 to 4096. So we have our VLAN 10 and 20. It should be, yeah, you can see here, VLANs allowed and active in management domain. One is default VLAN, 10 and 20. So I have almost done with the Cisco switch. Now I'm gonna go to the Juniper switch. As you know, the Juniper and Cisco has kind of difference between the command, but underlying technology is kind of similar. So the way the command I have put for the Cisco switch, it will be kind of different kind of syntax for the Juniper. Let's get started with the Juniper now. I think I've already opened the console for Juniper. It's called VQFX-RE. So in here, you can see, let's check the current, the details of the VLAN. As you know, it should be empty at this moment. So show VLANs. So at this moment, I can see there is one a default VLAN, which is VLAN 1. There is no more VLAN as it's empty. I haven't done any configuration. As I said earlier, I have two access interfaces from the end workstation. So one is XC-0/0/0, which is a 10 gig interface. So now I'm gonna create VLAN. First thing first, let's get started. Let me go to the config mode, configure, set VLANs, let's say IT, VLAN ID is 10, commit. So as you have seen the difference, in Cisco switch, we don't need to write commit, but in Juniper, you have to write commit to get this change implemented. Otherwise, if you don't write commit and exit from this device, when you just relook onto the device, you see none of the configuration installed. So let's check the status of VLAN. Show, so run show VLAN. You see I have created the VLAN 10 and IT has been assigned to VLAN 10, but there is no interface. Interface has been assigned to this VLAN at this moment. So my plan is to create one more VLAN and then start assigning the interface to the respective VLAN. Now set VLAN admin, VLAN's ID is 20. Commit again. Let's check the list of the VLAN. Run show VLAN. VLANs. So you can see now I have people, two VLANs, VLANs 10 and 20, and they have a name. For VLAN 10 we have name IT, and for 20 we have a name admin. So now I'm going to start assigning the interface onto the respective VLAN. Let's go to the interface XC-0/0/0. Set interfaces XC-0/0/0 unit 0, and then family Ethernet switching, and then interface mode interface mode. This is the access layer interface. So access, and then let's say what should be the next syntax? VLAN, VLAN, and then next syntax should be members. Which VLANs you want to assign on this interface? So members, and what would be the members? I have admin and IT, so I want to assign this interface under the IT VLAN. Now commit. So here we can see an error. It says family Ethernet switching and reset of these families are mutually exclusive. Error commit failed. So what it is trying to say here is the interface axis 0/0/0 is been mutually assigned for the layer 2 Ethernet switching and layer 3 routing. So how to get rid of this error? delete, delete axis 0/0/0, delete interface, this interfaces, this, and then I'm just scrolling to the commands I wrote earlier. Hit enter, commit. Now check the status of axis-0/0/0. Run, show configuration interface axis-0/0/0. What we can see. So I can see the interface axis-0/0/0 is being assigned to VLANs member called IT. Or what we can see to the other command is run show VLAN. Remember, for Cisco we can write show VLAN, but for Juniper we have to write show VLANs. You can see axis-0/0/0 is been assigned under the VLAN 10, which belongs to IT. So now I'm going to assign axis-0/0/2 for VLAN 20. And how to do that? We might see the similar error. So before we get into that, I want to delete axis-0/0/0 to get it ready only for Ethernet switching, as currently it's been allocated for layer 2 Ethernet switching and IP routing. Okay, so to do that, delete Ethernet, sorry, interfaces axis.0/0/2, commit. Now let's write the command set interfaces axis-0/0/. So now I'm going to assign interface axis-0/0/2 onto the VLAN 20 unit 0 family Ethernet. Then you can hit the tab button. It will get rest of the commands for you. Interface mode access, as it's access there's switch. access VLAN members 20 comment. Okay, so let's check the status of these two VLANs and the interfaces. Run show VLAN. Yeah, so we can see that interface XC-0/0/0 is been assigned to IT VLANs, and 0/0/2 is been assigned for the admin VLANs. So what would be the next task? My next task would be to configure this link as a trunk link and allow this two VLANs traffic through this trunk link. So set, I think first I have to declare this VLAN will this link will be only for let's get started with this to make this interface as a trunk link. Okay, so first thing first, let's get started with XC-0/0/1 configure this link as a trunk link. Set interfaces XC-0/0/1 unit 0 family Ethernet switching interface mode. This time it shouldn't be access, as I'm planning to make this link as a trunk link. So the interface mode access shouldn't be access, it should be trunk. TRUNK trunk. And then I need to declare what are the VLANs that need to allow through this trunk link. VLAN members, I could say all, yeah. So if I write all, any VLANs you create in future that will be allowed to this trunk, or what I can do, I can write, let's say IT, and then admin comment. So as you can see, there's a similar error been seen a couple of times earlier when I was configuring these two interfaces. So I have to do almost the same things to get this interface available only for Ethernet switching. So delete interfaces XC.0/0/1 commit. Now I'm going to get back to that command. Let's just start with the IT and then the admin. And now I'm going to hit the commit. Come on, commit. Yeah, let's check the status of this interface. So if how to check it, run show configuration interface XC-0/0/1. You can see the status of this interface is, or mode of this interface is trunk now. And the VLANs that are allowed to this trunk is IT and admin. Okay, so I have almost done with this configuration at this moment for the Juniper switch. And as I have shown you earlier, we have already completed the configuration for Cisco switch. Now I'm gonna assign IP address onto this router, and these are two different subnet. So 192.168.1.1/24 I'm going to assign for VLAN 10, and then I'm going to assign 172.16.1.1/24 VLAN 20. As you can see, I have in the Cisco switch, I have a device from the same subnet of 192.168.1.1. So this is the second IP from this subnet /24, and then you can see I have here the VLAN 20, and I have taken 172.16.1.1/24. The first. So let's start it with this VIOS 4. The reason I haven't added PC here, I tried adding PC earlier, and I assigned the IP address to the PC, but for some reason the PC doesn't forward the traffic. So that's the reason I, replace the PC with the router. It's a Cisco router, but let's assign an IP address to this router. Oh, now I can. So let's start it with the S4, which is this. Enable show IP interface brief. Currently, there's nothing been assigned to any of the interface. I can see there are 4 interfaces, all are gig interface. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign 192.168.1.1/24 onto interface G0/0. Config T, interface G0/0, IP address 192.168.1.1. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. No shut. Show IP interface brief. As you can see, I have assigned the IP address 192.168.1.1 onto the gig 0/0, and the interface is up at this moment. So let's go to not this one. I'm gonna fire up this device because 192.168.1.1/24 and 192.168.1.2/24 belongs to the same VLANs. No. Right. Enable show IP interface brief. As you can see, there's nothing been assigned to this router. So again, I'm going to assign 192.168.1.2 onto interface G0/0. Config T to access to the config mode. Interface G0/0. IP address 192.168.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut. Let's check the status of this interface. Show IP interface brief. So I have assigned 192.168.1.2 onto G0/0 interface. So let's start the connectivity between the device that is sitting in the Juniper switch, which is 192.168.1.1, and I have a device from the same subnet mask that belongs to the Cisco switch. Let's go to the Cisco switch, which is S6, and ping the device that's sitting in the Juniper switch. So ping 192.168.1.1. Yeah, as you can see, the ping is successful. So that means there is a successful connectivity between a device that's sitting in Cisco switch with the device that's sitting in the Juniper switch. So now I'm going to the Juniper other VLANs 20. The first IP, which is belongs to 192.168.1.1/0. Sorry, my bad. So the first device within 172.16.1.0/12. I'm repeating. Sorry. So let's assign the first IP from 172.16.1.0/12 subnet onto G0/0 on VLAN 20. Let's find the device. It's VIOS 5. So now let's go to the config mode, enable config T, IP address 172.16.1.1.255.255.255.0. Why not? So I haven't selected the interface. First thing first, I have to select the interface G0/0, and then assign the IP address onto the so assign the IP address onto the interface. No shit. Do show IP interface brief. What you can see. So the IP address 172.16.1.1 is been assigned to G0/0. Now I have to go to the device within the same subnet, which is sitting within the Cisco switch. So device number is VIOS 7. It's taking a bit in an extra time to get started. However, I can see and the device is started. So enable config T, again interface G0/0, IP address 172.16.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut. So let's ping. So I'm gonna ping the device which is sitting under the Juniper switch. So this time I'm gonna ping 172. So I'm gonna ping this device. At this moment I'm on here, and I'm gonna ping to this device that's sitting on Juniper switch to check the connectivity between these two devices within the same VLAN, VLAN 20 currently they are sharing. So 172.16.1.1. Yeah, so as you can see, we have a successful ping from the device 172.16.1.2 to the device 172.16.1.1. So let's go to the Juniper side. So I'm going to go to this device VOS 4 and ping the device which is sitting under the Cisco switch. So let's go to VIOS. So this time I'm going to ping from here to here. So I'm on 192.168.1.1/24 and I'm going to ping 1.2. So ping 192.168.1.2. Yeah, so ping is successful. Let's go to this device VIOS 5. Ping 172.16.1.2. So the connectivity has been established between the device sitting in two different switches within the same VLAN, let's say VLAN 10 to 10. And also the connectivity has been established between the device sittings between two different vendor switch, such as Juniper and Cisco. So you can see the successful connectivity from 172.16.1.1/12 to 172.16.1.2. So this is it. If you like my video, please subscribe my video. And if you like my videos, please let me know in the comment section. So in future, I will make more videos on Juniper and Cisco.